Hi, everyone. My name is Benita Perkins, and I'm president of Benny Girl Healthy Lifestyle Branding and Communication. Our company works with organizations, other companies, and governments to get a healthy lifestyle message out, especially focused on women of color. We provide that message in various forms, including webinars, workshops, classes, events, just all kinds of ways to communicate that message. So, it's all about healthy lifestyle and making sure women of color have the best opportunities to live their best lives, because that hasn't always been the case. So anyway, let's get started with the 3 tenets of self-care. And this is all about, again, taking care of ourselves and making sure that we don't skimp on each part of those areas of self-care. Let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen. I hope that you see it in presentation mode. So this webinar, the 3 tenets of self-care. The pandemic is mostly in the rearview mirror for most of us, although many of us are still practicing precautionary measures, including masking, maintaining social distance, and avoiding crowds. As we progress through it, the pandemic highlighted the need for self-care, which many of us overlooked pre-pandemic. That awareness hopefully makes it easier to implement self-care actions. Let's be clear that none of these actions are about pampering ourselves. Let's identify and talk about the 3 tenets of self-care that will not only keep you energized and operating at your best self, but will also bring about quality of life as you age. What you eat, nutrition, what you do, movement, activity, and what you think, mental and emotional care. We're going to start with what you eat. If you're not familiar with the USDA recommended eating guidelines, this image says it all. This plate represents the concept of nutrient dense, which is what we should all be striving for as we make health decisions this year. Nutrient dense refers to foods with a high nutrition to calorie ratio. These foods give a healthy bang for your eating buck and include the normal suspects of vegetables, fruits, fish, and legumes. A good example of a nutrient-dense food are strawberries. 1 cup of strawberries contains only 150 calories, but packs in 3.5 grams of fiber, 86 milligrams of vitamin C, and 26.9 milligrams of folate. Nutrient-dense carbs like whole grain breads and cereals, rice and beans, pastas, vegetables, and fruits tend to have lower calories per serving compared with high fat or sugar content foods, making them a good choice for losing weight. And ounce for ounce, because they are dense, you will probably get satisfied with a smaller amount and stay fuller longer. For instance, if we compare 1 cup of carrots to 4 saltine crackers, both have 50 calories. However, because the carrots have more nutrients for the same calories, they will be more filling, a feeling that will last longer than eating the crackers. But also be mindful of calories hidden in healthy eating. Salads can be a sneaky culprit. Although they are 100% healthier than eating a bacon-loaded potato, we lull ourselves into a sense of entitlement that we can eat more because we think our salad has fewer calories. For instance, packing the dressing on a salad containing avocado and chicken breast can bring the total calories up to 700. Adding a slice of bread or roll takes up another 100 calories. Another heavy healthy is peanut butter, which can pack 100 calories per tablespoon. If you're a peanut butter lover, the type that can eat a spoonful out of the jar, you can see how easily these calories will add up. And those healthy juices and smoothies are real calorie killers. An 8-ounce glass of orange juice is 110 calories, which is more than a comparable glass of soda, albeit much healthier. If you're quenching your thirst, drink no-calorie water first, then hit the orange juice as part of a balanced breakfast or snack. Smoothies are wonderful inventions, filled with whatever healthy fruit or vegetables your heart desires. But unless it's your meal, think no more than an 8-ounce glass for a snack, because they definitely carry a calorie wallop. And can we discuss cereal? Forget the sugary kid versions, which stack on the calories with very little nutritional value. Let's talk about the healthy ones like granola, multigrain, and fiber versions. A half cup of Quaker Oats granola with almonds will set you back about 270 calories before the milk, which after adding that in, brings breakfast to over 300 calories. Compare this with eating 1 poached egg and 2 slices of bacon, which totals only 152 calories, or reduce to 1 slice of bacon and add toast. My money says the egg and bacon will be more filling and satisfying. Now let's talk about the second tenet of care, what you do, and within that, we have the 3 tenets of exercise. At this juncture, activity has to resume. The fear of gyms kept many of us from working out, which exacerbated the long-term working from home and sitting. And although many gyms are now open, the COVID environment still keeps many of us out of them. You may have sporadically delved into exercise with a mishmash of activities, and yet your body continues to revolt with weight gain and fatigue. Now it's time to bring some discipline into your workout mindset with the 3 tenets of exercise: cardio, resistance or weight training, and core work. There also needs to be consistent engagement. Note that exercise is an extremely important component of your self-care regimen. Not only does it make you feel better and minimize weight gain, but its immunity properties in helping you fight illness and disease is probably the biggest reason to make it a priority. Cardio. Per the government, we should all be doing a minimum of 150 minutes of heart-burning pumping cardio. How hard your heart pumps is up to you, ranging from a brisk walk to burpees that will leave you breathless. What's most important in order to make cardio effective is targeting your heart rate to a level that will exercise your heart, and if you're not happy with your weight, help you lose it. That could be the difference between a low-impact, steady-state brisk walk or a high-impact interval combination with burpees and speed jumps. The technology of heart rate monitors like Fitbit and Garmin and Apple Watches provide the tools for tracking your heart rate so that the time you spend in the gym is worthwhile and keeps you honest about your effort. And there is a mind-body relationship to getting your heart rate up. I can explain the physiological impact of cardio, like lowering blood pressure and glucose levels. But what is harder for me to express, and what I know in my heart is true, is how exercise improves one's state of mind. There is scientific evidence that exercising releases neurons in the brain that bring on an overall good feeling. If you've had a challenging exercise class that has adequately increased your heart rate, then you know about that spring in your step afterwards, and how issues that bothered you before your workout somehow seem more manageable afterwards. And let's talk about the second tenet of exercise, resistance training, resistance and weight training. Weight or resistance training, I consider the fountain of youth. The aging process begins in the mid-30s. And as we age, resistance strength training becomes more important. That age of 30 is sooner than most of us believe, And the process of that slow aging process involves a slow but steady loss of muscle mass. The problem with losing muscle mass is that the process slows our metabolism. It takes a lot less energy for our bodies to maintain itself, so our metabolism slows down as our muscle mass diminishes. This in turn leads to weight gain and begins a slow but steady cycle of putting on the pounds. Of course, if you're eating the same and your activities haven't really changed, the slower metabolism mixed with the lack of true physical activity further exacerbates the problem, as we dealt with in the pandemic. The logical answer to this issue is to do activities that build muscle. This means that the older we get, the more important lifting weights and doing other types of resistance training become. You have to lift, crunch, squat, punch, push, and pull. So yes, we're talking about hitting the gym or putting in a video and doing a darn thing. Besides improving metabolism, resistance training also provides the following benefits. It improves heart and lung function. It increases muscle strength and endurance. Stronger muscles reduce demands on the heart. Barry Franklin of the American College of Sports Medicine, a professor at the American College of Sports Medicine, notes that heart weight training will help the heart function more efficiently when one has to lift or carry objects, which is what real life is about. This comment is especially targeted to people with cardiovascular issues who need to minimize heart strain. And according to Prevention Magazine, resistance training dissolves the innermost fat around internal organs compared with aerobic exercises, which work best on the superficial fat around the waistline and the triceps. And lastly, weight-bearing exercises create high pressure on the bones, which both build and strengthen them and help to fight osteoporosis, or weakening of the bones as we age. And for all you ladies out there who believe that lifting weights will make you look like a female Hulk, understand that our female hormones overwhelm male hormones, which keeps us from bulking up. Using 3 to 5 pound weights will do your body a world of good. And here's some exercise tips to make it count. So good form is everything when working out. Resistance training, working with weights or your own body, it's extremely important to squeeze those muscles. The key is to know which muscle or muscle group is being exercised, and then focus on working that muscle by squeezing it at the maximum contraction. Know the difference between an exercise working a muscle and merely moving and merely expending time moving a body part or a joint. And heavier weights. Periodically move up to heavier weights in your workouts. This is a shock the body trick that men and women will probably have different criteria for what is normal weight load and consequently what is heavier. Women, if you're used to 5 pound weights for exercise, try your 8 or 10 pound weight for a workout and then go back to your normal weights the next time. Your muscles will respond beautifully, increasing tone and consequently metabolism. Visit heavier weights every 4th or 5th time you work out. For men, if you're working with 20 or 30 pounds, especially on the weights or machine, move up to 40 or 50 pounds for a session and then return to normal again using the same period sequence. Government recommends muscle straining or resistance training 2 to 3 times a week. So let's talk about that last tenet of exercise, the core. Almost every sport implements core strength in their conditioning. As a Pilates instructor and former dancer, I can't express enough the value of core strength and quality of life. In fact, prior to the arrival of Pilates to the mainstream in the early 90s, focus on the powerhouse or the core from the rib cage down to the pelvic bone was very seldom discussed. Pilates is not new and was started actually in World War II by Joseph H. Pilates as a way to rehabilitate injured soldiers. He focused on strengthening the core muscle groups which reside from your lower rib cage to your pelvis. And the biggest muscle to benefit is the transverse abdominis, which is the inner muscle that wraps around your intestines. Making this muscle stronger is great for the back because it is responsible for spinal stability. Strengthening exercises or strengthening core exercises like planks and roll-ups are within reach of almost everyone's physical ability, and building stamina over time is what allows you to be better at cardio, resistance training, walking, almost anything you do. Strengthening those muscles using those types of exercises will make, again, your cardio better. It will make your weight training better. It'll make your quality of life better. Let's talk about everyday acts and how the core assists with that. Bending to put your shoes on or scoop up a package, turning to look behind you, sitting in a chair, or simply standing. These are all just a few of the many mundane actions that rely on your core and that you might not notice until they become difficult or painful. Even basic activities of daily living like bathing or dressing all call on your core. On the job tasks that involve lifting, twisting, and standing all rely on core muscles. But less obvious tasks like sitting at your desk for hours engage your core as well. Phone calls, typing, computer use, and similar work can make back muscles surprisingly stiff and sore, particularly if you're not strong enough to practice good posture and aren't taking sufficient breaks. Balance and stability. Your core stabilizes your body, allowing you to move in any direction, even on the bumpiest terrains, or stand in one spot without losing your balance. Viewed this way, core exercises can lessen your risk of falling. Good posture. Weak core muscles contribute to slouching, and good posture trims your silhouette and projects confidence. More importantly, it lessens wear and tear on the spine and allows you to breathe deeply. Good posture helps you gain full benefits from the effort you put into exercising as well. So now that we've talked about the 3 tenets, here's some tips for keeping your exercise appointments. For most of us, time is a precious commodity, so we need to make our exercise time count. We are working out to get stronger, lose weight, and just plain feel better. So working smarter, I'll never say not harder, is the key. One tip, limit your workouts to 30 or 40 minutes. This means increasing intensity for the shorter period of time when you have energy and concentration. There is not much more benefit working out any longer because you tend to lose that valuable concentration and are probably not getting the benefit for the additional time you're putting in. Go harder, not longer. It's all about increasing the intensity, not the duration. And balanced lifting. Here's a mind-body boost. Perform exercises on one leg and then switch to the other. This progress should take place once you feel comfortable performing the exercises with both legs planted. By balancing on one leg, you force your core to work harder to keep you balanced, thereby increasing intensity, and as we know, this improves results. Another benefit, single leg exercises can help with muscle imbalances. Oftentimes, we can overuse our dominant muscles, like feeling one quad or glute fire more in a squat than the other. When doing a regular squat, it's so easy to depend on your dominant side when one leg has developed a weakness. But single leg squats don't give you that option. Lastly, clear your mind. This is a byproduct of a good workout. By concentrating in the short term you momentarily cloud out stress and problems and are usually better able to tackle them afterwards. Ideally, I'd like to see everyone take to heart the above exercise conversations. Here are some ways to make what you do happen knowing that we all have priorities in life that get in the way. Focus on random acts of fitness that you can incorporate into your daily activities. Exercise while brushing your teeth. Here we have a woman squatting while brushing her teeth. While you're staring in the mirror, do calf raises, lifting your heels high for 2 seconds and then lowering them. Squeeze the booty while you're lifting, and you'll get a double benefit of toning the lower legs and glutes. You can repeat this 20 to 30 times. You can also do this while washing dishes. Clean the house. If you haven't already vacuumed, swept, and wiped down every nook and cranny, now's the time. A 150-pound person can burn almost 200 calories performing 40 minutes of house cleaning chores. It's probably not at the top of your list of activities, but it really is a productive workout. Playground action. Go in the closet and pull out the jump rope or hula hoop. Go back to childhood to jump as many times as you can without missing. Same with the hula hoop. Once you get that hip action back, keep it going. TikTok dance challenge. TikTok is a popular video sharing app used to create short entertainment videos and has quite a few dance challenges to try. It takes time to learn the steps. You'll be spending lots of time moving. If you have a partner, the fun and laughter are doubled. Stand while working at your computer. According to health information site Healthline, standing can burn between 100 and 200 calories per hour, compared with sitting, which burns 60 to 130 calories. If you're telecommuting or just surfing the net, put that laptop on the counter for 20 minutes or longer and work while standing. Stretching. Sedentary lifestyle and aging can lead to loss of flexibility. Stretching will improve flexibility and help maintain quality of life. Gardening. Let me go back. Gardening. Bending, digging, squatting are all involved in planting, and tending a garden also burns calories and almost every muscle group benefits. Of course, the best reward is enjoying the fresh flowers and fruit. Another one, wash your car. And lastly, walk the stairs. For apartment dwellers and those with access to stairs, this activity provides a cardio boost and works the lower body. Walk to the top floor and back. The more floors, the more robust the challenge. Give yourself a minimum of 10 minutes to complete. And just a personal side note, where I work, we have, I work on the 3rd floor, and so I take the employee entrance and use the stairs, so I walk the 3 flights. And I walk those flights 2 to 3 times per week. And can I tell you, every single time, when I get to the top of those stairs, I am breathing hard. It's like my body continues to be challenged by walking those stairs, no matter how many times I do it. So it's a great cardio boost, and it's part of my daily. It's how I get to work. So think of those opportunities because they really are meaningful. The last tenet of care I want to discuss is what you think. In all of this, the pandemic, everything we've gone through, we need to focus on how we have survived and persevered, even if we think we haven't. I think the Black girl magic we've seen over the past 2 years in the sports world with Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka provide the ultimate permission to enlist self-care, which involves our whole selves. Over the past 2 years, we've been seeing and hearing the term resilience in relation to the pandemic and its domino effect on all aspects of life. A definition that I like is that inevitable quality that allows some people to be knocked down by life and come back stronger than ever. Rather than letting failure overcome them and drain their resolve, they find a way to rise from the ashes. In a nutshell, resilience can be defined as the ability to bounce back. We are not unbreakable. Resilience is when you have the ability to break and get back together. People who are resilient still have bad days, even bad weeks. They may feel broken down sometimes or utterly unmotivated, but ultimately they find a way to go on. And resilience can look different depending on the situation. If you've just lost someone you love to COVID-19, for example, resilience might be simply finding the strength to get out of bed each day. Your level of comeback is your resilience. So what does resilient self-care look like? I'm not a mental health professional, but I do know that we have permission to seek one out when we are having difficulty coping. I saw an interesting quote on social media one day that said, "We go to a doctor when we have physical ailments. And when we are having mental ailments, a visit to a mental health specialist should be just as pedestrian. If we find ourselves in a funk and it's going on, 1 week and we haven't been able to really find joy or be able to, really be at our do the things we normally do or find joy in doing the things we normally do, it might be time to sit down and talk to someone. And it shouldn't be any different than I'm coughing and I need to go see a doctor about my cough." In the meantime, I've discovered mindfulness as a great way to take a minute or 30. Mindfulness is a type of meditation in which you focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interruption or judgment. Practicing mindfulness involves breathing methods, guided imagery, and other practices to relax the body and mind and help reduce stress. You can help direct your attention away from negative thoughts and engage with the world around you. While mindfulness is something we all naturally possess, it's more readily available to us when we practice on a daily basis. And you can practice mindfulness at any time in a place you have a quiet moment. And I'm not going to go into a lot of different details, but here's just some things to think about. Set aside some time with personal space, sitting in the car, meditate and breathe deeply, observe the present moment as it is. And I'm just going to go through these. Hold on. So set aside some time. I think during and that's something that, during the quarantine, it seemed like we had plenty of time to do that. We're kind of back to normal now, so you got to find that time to set aside, right? The aim of mindfulness is not quieting the mind or attempting to achieve. It's about attempting to achieve a state of internal calm. I'm going to start this again. Set aside some time. Sitting in the car, sitting on a park bench, or in an empty office space is a great opportunity to find that time, which we used to have during the quarantine. It seemed we had a lot more available time, but now we're getting back to normal. So find that time. Meditate and breathe deeply. Observe the present moment as it is. The aim of mindfulness is not quieting the mind or attempting to achieve a state of eternal calm. The goal is simple. We're aiming to pay attention to the present moment without judgment, and it's easier said than done. I know. Let go of judgment. When you notice your mind making judgments, take a mental note of what those judgments are and try to let them go. Things like maybe you'll start thinking, "Oh, I should be cooking dinner," or "I need to, check on Johnny's homework," or something. Once you find your mind going to those kinds of conversations, try to let them go and recognize it. Return to observing the present moment as it is. Our minds often get carried away in thought, and that's why mindfulness is the practice of returning again and again to the present moment. Be kind to your wandering mind. Don't judge yourself for whatever thoughts crop up. Just practice recognizing when your mind has wandered off and gently bring it back. So in conclusion, be mindful that each of these tenets of what you think, what you eat, and what you do are not overlooked. Sometimes one will get more attention than the other, but being aware of the need to practice all three will keep you focused. And I just want to give you a quick note. I mean, my ability to be mindful is what I need to practice. What I do for movement, I probably should balance it out more. That I do a lot of, but being able to look at, you know, where I have my weaknesses, which is my ability to bring myself to, you know, a mindful setting and really allow my mind to calm down and be in the moment, is something that I need to work on. For somebody else, they might be really great with mindfulness and getting their self back to center and not and hate to work out and need to think more about, you know, bringing fitness into their life. Same thing with eating. Some people have a, you know, might be really good at movement, but have a really hard time working on that nutrition piece and making sure that they're bringing those nutritional elements into their day-to-day. So again, thank you so much for participating. I did not put my contact information on here. So I'm just going to give it to you slowly. But if you're watching this, I'm sure that my website and information is available wherever you're watching this this recorded webinar. Again, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Bye.